What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the show. AOR here, and in today's episode, I'm going to be featuring this game called Ranching Simulator. Now, I am playing on the Southwestern DLC. I believe I said that right. Southwestern. To be honest, I can't remember the specific name, but it is a new map. But in today's episode, it's pretty unique because of this guy right here. So they've added the fishing ability, or ability to go fishing, in this game. So I figured I would just hop in the pickup truck, take some supplies into town, and then I would see if I can find fishing supplies, because it's either something you can buy or it's a mission we'll have to complete. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and load up the truck here. I have got so much food to take in that it's kind of insane to me. And I've just restacked these racks as well. These coolers all are full. I've got a new batch of sausage getting made right now. And so it's I've been busy for sure. Quick little tour around the ranch. I've got primarily beef cattle, and then I've got a few dairy cows, and then over by the fuel area I've got sheep as well. So right now I've got all my bulls separated from these cows. They got a little out of hand for me. I like to kind of enjoy the game, and it got to be basically too much chores. And then over here, I've got the house. Sorry, this is a really crazy storm. Maybe I'll wait till after the storm passes. See if I can find the way out of here first. But yeah, I'm gonna head into town, sell this stuff off, and then see if I can't find us some fishing supplies. So I've got just over 120 hours in the game now. So I was playing on the original map, and then found this DLC. Picked them both up. I want to say it was Black Friday. I want to say it was like less than $5 for both of the games. That's US dollars for those of you who are watching. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, sounds fun. I'm gonna try it out. I could always use a relaxing game at the end of a long work day, so I've been playing this now. And I'll give you my honest opinion. After 120 hours of playing this game, I've decided it's got a lot of great aspects to the game. They're very fun, and the rewards and the economy are great. The only thing I would say is, like, there are a few tweaks this game really needs in order to be like a good game, and I feel like it's just missing that. So it bums me out. Okay, so just the meats. I didn't bring in any eggs. No wool. I'm just bringing all of this meat. Just over 9 grand. It's definitely not the most I've made, but I don't have all the coolers full, as you can see. Just these 3. But yeah, I think if this game made some like really simple tweaks, I say simple, but like traffic only moves 10 miles an hour, and at night they don't drive with lights on, which I think is super weird. The stores at night don't have lights on in them, so you walk into a store, it's dark. It's a bit creepy, to be honest. And yeah, it just feels like they're missing a few key aspects that are low-hanging fruits that I feel like could be added to the game. You can't add any additional plots. Oh, I'm on the wrong side, aren't I? So like, if you buy a ranch and it has one plot that you can farm crop on, that's it. You can't add additional crop plots. I think it's super weird, because you have 2 tractors in the game, but you cannot add additional plots. So now that the storm's cleared up, let's go ahead and run down back to the ranch, and we'll do a quick like little tour. I just want to give you guys a little bit of context before we jump into like the meat and bones of this video, which is going to be attempting the fishing aspect. The missions are okay. They give you like a decent-ish grasp of what you can do in the game, but they're not really necessary. Like this playthrough here on this ranch, I have not done any of the missions. I just haven't needed to. So you don't really gain anything. Like if you want the rifle, I suppose you would do the hunting missions, but to be honest, it's just not really necessary. Oh, and there's the new fishing icon, so that's pretty big. Yeah, that just was released today. So, you know, shout out to the devs for being on time with their roadmap. At least they're following their roadmap and doing a good job there. So, here's the dairy cows. I've yet to name her. Probably should do that. I feel bad. But, yeah, this is the beef cattle ranch. There are a lot of beef cattle here right now. More than I had intended there to be, but, I was a bit preoccupied working on other things. So here's a sheep. You can kind of trim them up. I'm kind of stashing all this here for a big load. All of it at once. Go to the store and we'll just sell all of this at the same time. And I've got my stud. Where's my stud at? I got two studs right here. There's Bob, and this kid was meant to be harvested for some sheep meat. So yeah, this is the sheep area. I've like kind of dabbled with the milk from the sheep, but I think the ROI on the cow dairy is just too large of a margin to even bother with the time it would take to milk the sheep. Like, I'm much better off just getting a blue mold and using the blue mold to make cheese for the dairy milk for the cows. Anything other than like the milk and cheese is basically just beef sausage. I've got a couple of meatballs made. Aside from that, though, honestly, that's it. Like, I've started the sunflowers just to kind of check it out. Here, I've done corn and grain on the normal map that you get from just the base game, and it's okay. I didn't mind it. But yeah, you had 3 fields on the base map when you like start with the base game. But this this particular ranch only has this 1 field, and because sunflowers are the most valuable in the game right now, I decided to grow those here in the 1 crop plot. It is sizable, mind you, like it's a decent size of a plot. But to be honest, I don't know. There's usually seeds left over when I'm done seeding, so I can harvest real quick. Just hook up to this bad boy. There we go. But yeah, the mechanics are simple enough that like almost anyone can play the game. I just don't know that it just feels like it's missing something sometimes, and it's been really hard to put my finger on it until very recently, and that is that I've decided like the game has great mechanics. It's super friendly for the user for the most part. There are certain things that are just kind of awkward or are glitched even or broken. This game is out in alpha, so it's like a full release. It's no longer yeah, it's not a beta. It's not an early release. So the game is done. Like, the devs technically owe us nothing at this point. So the fact that they've been working on it is nice. Like, I appreciate that about the devs in this game. You know, they're still going. But man, I just really feel like some of the low-hanging fruit would be like, okay, let us put in more than one plot. Expand the distance on the feeders and the troughs, so you don't have to have like 6 or 7 troughs, or excuse me, 6 or 7 silos and windmills just to cover the ranch. Like, it just feels kind of silly. The other low-hanging fruit I feel like that they've missed is customization of your house. Like, you could pick where things go. They do have some decorations, but as far as like planning where the kitchen is and all that jazz, it's all kind of just, you just put in the resources, concrete, wood, and metal, and then it just spits out a house. Like, you have no say where anything goes in the house. It just is like kind of generic. The house it looks great, don't get me wrong. I can give you a tour of the house that's been built, but you don't have like any say in where anything goes either. So, all that to say, yeah, I also wish that you could cut the grass using the tractors, because currently the lawnmower they give you is pretty terrible. Like, they should give you like an actual attachment for the tractor that would allow you to cut the grass here on these fields, but they don't. And so yeah, you're just kind of stuck with these random tufts of grass everywhere, which, like, I think this is supposed to emulate like a high desert. I suppose that's what they're going for here with this aesthetic, but it definitely doesn't feel that way. So I took the liberty of riding around in my lawnmower and basically just kind of getting rid of grass in certain areas that I felt like it was entirely unnecessary to have grass. And then going back after the fact and then planting in these trees because I wanted, you know, some sort of tree cover here, a little bit of shade, especially for the cows during the hot day. Not that any of that actually matters or is in consideration for the cows. I just like the aesthetic. So my plan is to put in a back row of trees here and yeah, start knocking out some of these cows, because we've got quite a bit of cows going right now. And the house, like I said, I mean, I love it. It's great. I think the designing that they did here is kind of clever. Let me go into first person mode for you here. So the first door immediately on your right as you enter is like a office / bedroom space. Again, it looks great. The art and design they did is kind of phenomenal, to be honest. But you don't get to pick, just so you're aware, like, you don't get to pick where any of this goes. It just pops in. Like, as soon as you step out of the house gets built. And voila. So, like, I think they meant for you to try to, I don't know, put things here, like use the pantry as like a usable space. I almost think it would have been better served if they put like meat hanging racks in there and then like a few, you know, yeah, I don't know. But you can't really fit those in this space either. So, like, neither of these. I suppose the bin for preserving meat would probably fit here, for example. You could probably get away with that. Yeah, that would fit there. So you could hang all your meats like right here on this back wall. I think you could probably, if you don't mind covering that switch, you could probably fit 3 in there, I bet. I don't know. I don't want to digress too much from my point here. But you definitely couldn't fit, you know, you couldn't fit those here, is my point. And I think that space would have been better served for that. So yeah, if you don't mind blocking the light switch mostly, I feel like you could get away with doing that there. But otherwise, there isn't really a place to put any of your preserving bins for cheese, just on account of it being thick. It's too big. It's too wide. So, with that being said, I love the house. I think the house is great. It's a good looking house. If I'm being honest, I don't use it. I've used it to save like once or twice, but outside of that, I just haven't really felt the need or desire to. It's more practical to just build a bed in your main workspace and then sleep or save there. And then outside of that, there's just really, there's no point. Which is why I have this air mattress here. There's the expensive lawn ornament. It's not actually expensive. It's pretty useless. Like the width of cutting area. Get ready to spend a lot of money on gas to do a lot of passes, because it's a bit frustrating that you can't just hook up to like a good looking tractor, which they have 2 of them, but you can't cut grass with either of the tractors. All that to say, like the mechanics of the game, right? Milking the cows, bringing in your milk, crafting different recipes. Like I've got a batch. We can do a batch here for you real quick. So I like to add just an egg to each, like so, and you can see the eggs there on the top. And then I've got the blue mold, as it makes the most expensive cheese. And then you just pick this up. You gotta put it back on if it's the first time since you've loaded into the game. Super weird mechanic. You can't just press F to cook. It's odd. But once you figure that out, and you're not just screaming at your screen, pulling out your hair, trying to figure it out, it's not bad. Because then, you know, and it's not as frustrating anymore. It's just like a weird mechanic in the game that exists, and you have to work around it. So once these are done drying, I want to say that will be worth like $197 to $210, somewhere in that range. I built this here so I could take a look at the costs. So cheese from cows is $90 right now, which is not bad. Sunflower, $12. And then if I look at the beef sausage, and I'm doing the salami, $127. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's actually a pretty good price. And if you do beef cattle, that's not hard to get. I want to say like a male bull, when she reaches maturity, he's not quite there yet, but I think he gets like, it's a cooler and a half, so I want to say that's 36 like units of meat that comes from him. So it's pretty decent for what it is. Like that's not bad. And then out back, I've got the chickens going, as well as some strawberries, just because I thought it looked pretty awesome. And the yield from the strawberries are kind of insane. So I'm pretty close to being full, if I'm not full already. Yep. Let's go ahead and put this down. So 40 strawberries right there. I've got 2 heads of strawberries to harvest before they go bad. And then the chickens, yeah, I started off with just a male and a female and bred all of these chickens. You will need I think it's pronounced ovoscope. It's right here, this guy. So this guy is used to basically tell you if whether or not, oh, it's backwards. 1 second. Here we go. This will basically tell you if an egg's been fertilized. So you grab an egg, you toss it in, you flip on the light, and if it is fertilized, it is pretty obvious because it looks like there's a shadow, just a demonic shadow inside of the egg, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's how you figure out if an egg's fertilized. The ones that are, I didn't know this at the time, but I left it on my counter, and the fertilized eggs just hatched. And so I came up to this table, was working out of the baskets, and I had 3 eggs on the table, just like so. And when I walked up to the table, they just immediately hatched into 3 chicks. So I had to grab one at a time and run them back over. It was kind of funny. So it's not hard to expand on the chickens, which is why I thought that part of the game is super fun. And as you can see, there's heaps of eggs in here. I mean, just a ton of eggs. And almost all my baskets are full. So they're making more eggs than I can keep up with at this point. It's awesome. Obviously, I could just run them into town and sell all of them. The only reason I haven't is because I wanted to use them to make my recipes. I think it adds $10 basically per thing if you add an egg. So if you're making cheese and you add an egg, it's now $10 more. If you're making sausage and you add milk, that's $10. If you add milk and an egg, that's $20 more, I believe. So it's kind of a decent return on the investment to just keep your eggs, because you can totally use them for everything you craft. Now, I have been playing with different recipes to see if they sell for more. I didn't realize that there's basically a mechanic in the game that dictates how much it's worth, and that is the daily mailer that comes in, the Rancher's Daily News. Basically, this sort of dictates how much things are worth that day. So, for the most part, I've noticed day after day, they remain relatively the same, unless you bring in a lot of like one item. So like the grapes, for example, I want to say this was as low as like 40%, just because I kept bringing in grapes. And so it started to lose its value. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but it seems like, in my opinion, the more of something you bring in, the less value it has. So I try to switch it up a little bit, keep them on their toes, if you will. This cooler is full, so we can toss this here. Well, that one's empty. And it just seems weird too. Like, you have a crap ton of coolers when they could have some kind of repository that would just have more space, like a bigger cooler. I don't know. 24 is like kind of the magic number though, so it's great. It's just it does feel a bit weird to have like a crap ton of coolers in here all the time. But some of these items are dual purpose, so like what you could use for, let's say, raw meat, you can put the blue molds in here, you can put the fertilizer in here, you can put your seeds for your crops in here. So it is like kind of a handy catch-all container, and I like that part about it. But otherwise, it's just it just feels a bit redundant. Like they need to expand on some of the items they have available in the game. Again, that's not me, talking bad. This is a curiosity conversation, not a judgment conversation. What I will be critical of is the fishing mechanic. I have played mini games with a fishing mechanic in them, and they're basically just mini games within the game. And some of them are extremely fun, others not so much. And so I'm curious to see how this game will play out with that fishing mechanic. So without further ado, let's grab this basket here, if it will let me. Seems like it's being blocked. Is that what's going on? There we go. I'm gonna grab this basket, harvest the last couple of strawberries before they go bad, and then we shall head into town and see about some fishing supplies. Oh, that's the other thing too, is like, to shut the tailgate is the same button as it is to enter the vehicle. And so you might be standing there intending to shut the tailgate, but instead you teleport to the front seat and drive off. So it's it's a bit rigid in some ways, but also extremely satisfying in others. So it's like kind of a bit of a confusing game, to be honest. It's super enjoyable in some ways and then just extremely limiting too. So they do a really good job at some things, and just the game is severely lacking in other ways, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think it's great that you can have a pet dog. I love that about the game. However, his bowl is 10 metrics of water and 5 metrics of food. Yeah, he's out of water probably every day, but takes him like 4 or 5 days to eat all of his food. It's super weird. Yeah, I don't really understand that part. This was, if I'm being honest, for the aesthetic of just having a dog on the ranch. It is entirely unnecessary to have this dog, unless you're using him somehow for protection against something. It's not necessary here on this ranch, but I just like the idea of, like, you know, walking up to the storage room or work room, if you will, and seeing him here. So I'm gonna toss this water here so he can drink that when he runs out of water. Let's go ahead and sleep. Okay, it is a new day. Now that we've kind of had a walkthrough of the ranch and a little bit of its operations, what I've been doing, that's the other thing too, is heads will stick through objects. It's like kind of funny to see sometimes. But yeah, let's go ahead and head into town and see about if we can buy any fishing supplies, if that exists yet, or if it's like you just get it from doing a mission. Because on the map it says that there is a fisherman here. But yeah, I'm gonna head to the hardware store first, see if there's anything new there. But I didn't read through the devlog for what was added to the game. I just kind of wanted to, like, be genuinely surprised when I hopped in to see what was new. So I don't want any spoilers. I just want to see if I can spot anything different. The other thing that's weird too is, like, the hardware store has a lot of fireworks, like every firework you could ever imagine. But I don't know what they're for. I don't know if it's a mission or just because. I haven't gotten that far in the game. I've mostly been exploring the mechanics of the game, what different animals yield, and what sort of crafting you can do after the fact. So I'm just going to toss these here. I would definitely, obviously, make more if I took it over to the other spot, but I'm just going to go ahead and sell it here. Like, if you're going to sell stuff, probably do it at Best Burger. I think you get more, to be honest, but I'm just going to sell it here. And then I'm going to take a look. So all of this so far looks normal. All that looks the same. Yeah, here's those firework packs. I don't get it. I don't know what these are for, so pardon the ignorance. I just have no idea yet, guys. But I've used basically everything else. I've had giant beehives, like 5 or 6 different beehives with every hive frame with bees. It's fun. It's very noisy, for sure. Day and night. There's no, like, quiet time for those bees. I've not used the manual meat grinder or the manual sausage stuffer. I've just always gone straight for the electric stuff. Yeah, I don't feel like wasting time on those two. But yeah, I've used everything in this game. Every item, except for this ladder. I've not used the ladder yet. I can do that now if you want. I'm not actually sure what the application would be. Probably hopping in and out of the, like, the fenced area where your animals are. pick up. So I sort of just deploy it here, I suppose. And, oh yeah, you can literally just walk up and over. So if you don't want to risk opening the gate, I suppose, on your fence, then there's that option. Okay, so I didn't see any fishing supplies there. I'm thinking we head over to the other store. I'm curious if there's any new vehicles. Let's just take a peek here real quick. Okay, we got our UTV, of course, pickup truck, ATV. I've not used the ATV yet. SUV, I've not used that yet. I've got a tractor, I've got the harvester, I've used the woody wagon, terrible. The van looks rad, but I've not used it. I do have this truck. It is quite useful for moving animals. And I just got the classic sports car, I think last night, so. But yeah, no new vehicles, no new tools or gadgets in the hardware store. Let's, we've already gone to the diner, sell things today. Let's just head over to the general goods store. And then I'll top up on gas before we head over to the fisherman. Okay, go ahead and park right here. Just head inside. Let's take a peek. Okay, so we've got everything's the same there. Trimmer, basket, yep, all that's the same. All that's the same. Yeah, ovoscope. Bee smoker, yeah, everything looks the same to me. Fertilizer, ag medicine, composter, sprinkler. Yeah, everything looks the same. Okay, so there's no fishing supplies as far as I can tell. There's nothing that's been added in that regard. I'm going to grab a cooler though. And we'll just take that with us. I'm not actually sure that we need it, but I thought, you know what? That's really the only thing that I can think of that constitutes as fishing supplies currently in the game. So I'm going to drop a pin. And we're going to head here. Okay. I think I'm going to top off on gas real quick. I'm just not sure how far or long it's going to be. The nice thing is too is the pickup truck doesn't hold a lot of gas, but it feels like it lasts pretty long. I don't know, that might just be like a weird anecdote, but that's how it is perceived, at least by me. So I could ramble off-road for sure, but I'm just gonna stick to the roads. It seems like it's a little bit more controlled and enjoyable if you stay on the roads. I'm happy to show you what happens if I go off-road, but the nice thing is nothing falls out of the bed of the truck, so that's nice. But yeah, it's just kind of a lot of airtime. Steering is impossible in the truck. Usually I flip over, so not always the case, but that's typically just why I've elected to staying on the road. Even though the cars are literally driving 10 miles an hour or 10 kilometers an hour, I don't know, but they're not moving very fast. Like, it's kind of insane to me. So yeah, let's head on over to this location here. It's not much further ahead now. I haven't seen any content on this yet, so I'm pretty excited to explore the fishing mechanism and mechanic in this game. I'm hoping for like a really fun mini game. Like I said, I've been playing this game for just over 120 hours now, so I'm excited to check this out, see how it goes. Looks like we just head on down here. It almost looks like the Snake River. Okay, so that might be like its own standalone fishing store. Cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and hop out. Yeah, the mechanics feel very like they feel great, but the graphics almost look like 2015. It's kind of funny. I don't know. But let's see what this guy has to say. Oh. Okay. He doesn't actually say anything. He's got some pretty dope shorts though. I'm a fan. Looks like you just hold F to buy for $100. You can buy a swim bait for 25 bucks. That sounds about accurate. 65 bucks, not unheard of. And 120 bucks for a spoon. I would never do that, but here we are. Okay, so let's do the dangle. Okay, so press to toggle the menu. Carps tackle, a balanced master set, and just normal hook. So I'm assuming that there's a potential for bait somehow. I don't know. But we can try the carps tackle. I don't mind. See if there's any carp in here. Okay, so, okay, so the longer you hold down the right mouse button, the further out the cast will go, and as soon as you let go, it just casts out for you. And left mouse button, pulls it all the way back in. Okay, let's try that again. Right mouse button, let go, and that's how he casts. Is it scroll wheel? Is that how you bring it in? No? Right mouse button does nothing. The scroll wheel also does nothing. I thought that that'd be a clever way to do it. Yeah, I guess now we just wait for that to go down. Let's do a closer cast, like right there. See how that goes. It doesn't seem like you can see fish from the top of the water either. I've not dared to jump in the water. I don't know if I can swim in the game or not. That's definitely not the strat. Let's do a little bit further out. Like that. I'm assuming it's going to be like Minecraft, where as long as there's anywhere with water, you can fish it. So there's going to be like some bubbles coming up towards this as like an indicator that something's about to strike the lure. I don't know. I think it'd be really funny if they added fishing to the game but haven't like added fish yet. Let's try a different lure. Let's do balanced. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna cast way out over to there. That looks good. Okay. I suppose I'm supposed to see that somehow. I'm expecting like some sort of indicator that there's a fish on there. Yeah, now I'm just gonna wait. I'm not even gonna stop the recording. I'm literally just gonna like roll it. I'm either gonna edit out the like awkward pauses or just like give it to you raw, because yeah, I'm not trying to make the game look better or worse, just an honest opinion, honest review. Starting to feel an awful like real fishing. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to feel an awful lot like real fishing right now. Okay, so that's not the strat either. Is there like specific places we're supposed to fish? Oh, interesting. They haven't even added what this icon means yet. Okay. Let's go back to the fisherman and see if he has anything to say now that I've bought his stuff. I don't know. Let's just see if he has anything to say. Nope, nothing. Can't go out that door. Yeah, you just come to this super shady place down by the river. And he just sits there awkwardly and stares at you with his luscious mustache and deep brown eyes. And lovely shorts. Huh. Okay, yeah, this feels like a place you go to buy drugs. Or get, never mind, I won't say that part. But, yeah, so far as I can tell, let's try a different lure. How about that? Let's just try a different lure. Let's do that. Okay, let's do like right there. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like bring it in. Am I supposed to reel it in somehow? Oop. Like if I press F, E. Have they added it yet? Let's see, fishing. You can purchase a fishing rod and bait from the fishing hut marked on the map. Once obtained, check near the water's edge for ripples, which will indicate fish. Spots to fish. Hold tab to access the action wheel and switch to your rod. Okay, so that's what we're doing wrong. I see. So it's not like Minecraft at all. Or probably the majority of the other games I've played. You actually have to like go to very specific spots to go fishing. So we're just gonna follow, I think we're just gonna follow this edge in the truck, to be honest, and just old-fashioned spot and stock for fish here. Just says follow the water's edge until you see ripples. So that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna do some overlanding here. Oh, there we go. I see ripples. That is for sure a fish. So I'm just gonna position the truck here. Okay. Okay, so the ripples are right out there. Let's go ahead and pull our fishing pole out. And I'll use the master set and just keep that on there, to be honest. And then let's see if I can navigate. What am I stuck on? Oh, you just can't go into the water anymore. I see. Okay, that's super rigid. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this right mouse button down until it's there, and then I'm going to cast. Okay. I think I'm going to go out of first person just because it looks kind of painful. And now we wait. We're just going to wait. Something just happened. There was a very fascinating minigame that popped up, but I think you have to time it right. So the line will start to bounce, is what I observed. I pressed on the left mouse button, and then it popped up like a minigame in the top left corner of the screen. Let me try that again. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. Oh, wow, it is very unforgiving too. Okay. So you basically have to be ready to click your left mouse button as the wheel or pin is passing over the indicator. So that's how this mini game is working. It seems like very unforgiving too. So let's see if I can do a better job at this. Okay, looks like it's bouncing. Let's go there, 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 and it just, oh, I have a fish in my hands. Haha. Is that supposed to be a perch or sunfish? Looks a lot like a perch. Do I just like throw it in my cooler? Oh, am I supposed to throw it back? Put in. Haha, perch. Okay, there's my first fish. I don't see the... Okay, the ripples are still there, so that's nice. Every time I hear myself say ripples, I keep thinking I'm saying something else, and it's starting to like weird me out a little bit. But let's go ahead and cast that back out. But yeah, I got my first fish. I think I'm going to sit here and try and just rake in as many fish as I can for a bit and see how far I can get with stacking this cooler. And then we'll take it in to sell it, because why not? Let's see if we can sell some fish. Okay, there's 1, 2, and 3. That's a big fish. Is that a giant perch? What is happening right now? Look at that thing. Dude, are you... What is... Bro. Was it supposed to be a carp? That... Oh god. That was like a 32-inch carp, but it said it's a 4.68 kilogram perch. That's amazing. The scale is wild. Okay, so there's one, here's our second, and our third. Voila. Dude, I don't know why, but the size difference is getting me, man. Oh gosh. Okay, let's go ahead and toss this guy in. So that was 1.3 kilograms of perch. Let's see if there's any other. Let's see if there's any other like fish species here. Wow, I'm like at a loss for words right now. Okay, so let's try. Yeah, let's try right there. Okay, let's go back into third person. It just feels a little better. Like, it'd be kind of nice if while you were in first person, if the pole was like angled slightly, that'd be like nice. If it was like over here, angled somehow, that'd be rad. Okay, no nibble. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's our first, our second, and our third. That looks like a different species. What is it? It's a carp. A 2.6 kilogram carp. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so far we know there's carp and we know there's perch. What does the balanced get you? I'm really curious to see what we can get with the balanced hook. Okay, so there's our ripples. Just cast right in the middle of the ripple. Okay, now we wait. But yeah, so far it seems to make a lot more sense. You look for the ripple, you cast at the ripple, and you just do the mini game. Okay, so one, there's our second and our third, and then we teleport a fish in our hands. Okay, so we got rainbow trout. That's rad. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Oh, just trout. Not rainbow, just trout. Got it. Okay. So nice. Okay. So far we know of 3 new species of fish in the game. I did spot a ripple out in that direction. There it is. I wanted to try... I'm just curious to see if there's any new species that we're not aware of, just as of yet. Okay, let's try that. But yeah, if we can find any new species, I'd be really curious to see how many species of fish they threw in. I imagine the trout will probably be worth the most of all the others, unless the carp is just somehow, you never know. Or they all are worth the same. It just comes down to how much they weigh, I suppose, too, is the other thing. I wonder if we're not far enough into the ripple. Let's try and get a little closer. Yeah, I wonder if they'll introduce like a boat to the game. I think that would make a lot of sense. I feel like a lot of ranchers I know have boats. Okay, so that would put me smack dab in the middle of the ripple. There we go. You also, you cannot run or sidestep once you've cast your line, just so you're aware. Okay, we're smack dab in the middle of that ripple. Oh, there's a bite. So there's our first, our second, and our third. What do we got? Another trout. Okay, so far, it seems like the carp lure catches carp. The master set lure catches perch. And the balanced lure catches trout. So I haven't tried just the hook though. I'm curious. So I didn't see any bait that you can buy at any of the stores. So that's interesting, right? I'm just gonna throw out an empty hook and just see what happens. I don't imagine anything will happen. I'm just curious to see if anything happens. Like maybe they're gonna release baits in the future. So far, I see nothing. I'm definitely in the correct area though. Okay, I think it's pretty safe to say that the hook does nothing. So we know the carp's tackle catches carp, the balance is for trout, and the master set is for perch. So let's test that theory. Let's throw it back. We have the master set on. We're back in the ripple. And let's see if we can catch another perch. I'm like just on the outer area of that ripple. Like the top left outer area of that ripple. Okay, it's bouncing. There's our first, our second, and our... I missed. My bad. Let's try that again. I think I jumped the gun on that one. I'd blame it on my Tourette's, but I don't think that's fair. There it is. Okay. Oh, I popped it again. Wow. I wonder too if like the size of the area that you get to click has anything to do with the size of the fish too. So like the wider the area, the more forgiving of an area you have to click in. Does that mean that the smaller the fish is? Yeah, I'm real curious right there. It's a good cast, good cast. Okay, it's bouncing, so 1, 2, and 3. Yep, that's a big old perch. Okay. So, I mean, we've got 7 fish in the cooler. I think that's it's good enough to at least give us an idea of how much these things are going to be worth. Let's go ahead and head back. I think I only caught the 1 carp, though. I think the rest is basically perch, and then I've got 2 or 3 trout in there. I don't know if there's any other areas to go fishing other than just the area I was at. So I know of 2 fishing spots so far. There's a very nice, quiet gentleman in a hut down by the river where you can purchase a fishing rod. But outside of that, it doesn't really seem like there's anywhere you can go or any other supplies that you can buy in the game currently. So it's pretty limited, and this is what I mean. Like the mechanic of the game for fishing is well enough. Like I think for what it's worth, it's great. There was probably 11 years where I wished Skyrim would do something like that. So I think it's great, that they have that mechanic in the game. But as far as I can tell, there isn't anything more than that. Like, it's just that. In fact, the fishing in this game is a lot like the fishing in Skyrim. Is it available? Yes, and it's, for what it's worth, it's pretty fun. But it is pretty rigid. And unlike Skyrim, there's no context here. It's just a quiet gentleman that stares at you in his shorts. And yeah, you just walk up to a table, pick up a couple of fishing supplies, and then you walk out. And then you can catch 3 species of fish in the game. And we're about to find out how much you can sell those fish for. So, without further ado, let's see if we can figure that out. Let's go to Best Burger, actually, before they close. That might give us our best chances, to be honest. I don't know if they pay more for fish, or if everyone pays the same for fish. I don't even know if they buy fish, but let's check it out. Solid parking job. Okay, so let's just call this a kilogram. A kilogram of perch is worth $3.75, and yeah, so it looks like, yeah, okay. Let's use the trout as an example. 2.9 kilograms gives you almost $7. So let's call that 3 kilograms, $2. So $2 per kilogram of trout, whereas the perch is $3 per kilogram of perch. And then a 4.68 kilogram of perch is worth $15, almost $16. So based on the carp, I'm going to go ahead and say that these fish are not worth the same, because the almost 2.5 kilograms of carp is almost the exact same as the 1 kilogram of perch. So that is good to know. It seems like the perch is the most expensive meat, which is wild, but hey, that's what they decided to do with the game. And the trout is less valuable than the perch. Yeah, okay. Which I guess kind of tracks, right? Because if you think about how much the lures cost, I guess that indicates how much the value of the fish that you catch with that lure would also be. If the carp lure being the cheapest, yeah, I guess that tracks actually. Okay, so yeah, carp are the least expensive fish, and perch is the most expensive fish in the game. So those 7 fish give me a total of $52.76. My time is way better spent milking cows and turning it into blue mold cheese. So I probably will not go fishing in this game ever again, unless somehow there's a popular demand or a significant update to the game. I think it's weird that everyone drives around at night without their lights on, and all the stores don't have their lights on. But yeah, I think that's a good spot. We're just about at an hour. I probably won't do any edits to this video. I think I'm gonna keep it raw and just kind of give you guys my unfiltered, honest, and 120-hour review of this game. It's pretty fun. There's definitely a lot of things that are weird, like the cars. I think my girlfriend said it best. She said, "How come the cars hiccup when you get close enough?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I think you're getting to like the distance in which they are affected by like the rendering area of the game." So that's pretty funny. The animals do the same thing. When you get into like a certain proximity of the animals, they have like this like sort of weird hiccup or head bob. It's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, I've got a new piece of equipment here. I've never used it before. It's pretty fancy. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm a fan of that for sure. Okay, all the critters are asleep. I think it's this guy full maturity yet? He is not. His belly looks a little shy still. I might just put him back in there. Yeah, I think so. Come on. But yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. Like for what it is, it's really not bad. I do think it's funny that they all kind of pile up around the gates here, so I can't get in or out. It's definitely a fire hazard. I would like you to stay in here, please. Thank you. Oh, nice try. Okay, I got a couple of bulls sectioned off. I should have milked these cows, but it's too late. Well, folks, if you made it this far into the episode, just know that I appreciate the hell out of you for taking the time out of your day to watch this this video. I hope you don't think the tone is extremely critical or judgmental. I'm just giving an honest review of the game. Look, I've played it for 120 hours, and there's every chance that I'm going to play it for another 100 hours at least. They do some things in this game really, really well, and it's pretty enjoyable, to be honest. There are parts that are definitely enjoyable, but there comes a point when it feels like the game needs something else. Like, I think it'd be, just as a suggestion, I'm sure the devs will never watch this video, but if you could hire workers and give them jobs, I think that would be epic, because you can kind of grow your empire. For someone like myself, most of my friends play first-person shooters. They might dabble with the occasional survival game, but they will be caught dead playing Ranch Sim. So I am likely going to be playing this game by myself, at least in my immediate friend group. Like I said, most of them are going to be playing your Gray Zone Warfares, Call of Duty, that type of deal, right? So it would be nice if you could hire some help. I think if you could expand on the farming portion of the ranch simulator, that would be incredible. I think if you could make the area of effect for these silos and windmill a little bigger, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I think if they spent a little bit of time tweaking just some of the quality of life improvements, I think this game would do a lot better. But for what it's worth, it's pretty fun. Would I recommend that you buy this game and play it? I don't think I'd tell you to pay full price for this game, but if it ever went on sale, I would say it's pretty fun. I would say for what I bought it for on Black Friday, definitely do that. That was pretty rad. I was a fan of, yeah, I think I got it for like $5 US. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy your day or your week or your night. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.